Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Healing Honey. If it's your first time here, welcome. So I want to share with you guys the spiritual lesson that we're meant to learn after dealing with narcissistic relationships. It's crazy. You guys, I know that this is such a huge topic on the internet, and we hear about narcissistic people so often. When you hear something so much, you might start to think it's not like a big deal. We forget that it's an actual real thing. I'm here to share with you guys just like real life things that I've experienced in my own life. I'm not Healing Honey because it's a cute name. I mean, it is a cute name, but I've had to overcome a lot of things in my own life on my own path. I've learned how to do so much healing from the inside out. And I remember learning about narcissism years ago, and it was really crazy. It took me on a really deep dive within myself, and I had to face a lot of dark truths about some of the people in my life, some of the relationships that I had gone through, and I learned how to heal from them. And there's so much spiritual gold. There's a reason for everything. So I want to give you guys spiritual insight on the purpose of narcissistic relationships in your life. I'm going to tell you what they look like, how you can spot a narcissist if they're in your life. And I'm almost like, it's crazy because, see, things are on a spectrum. So there's a difference between having narcissistic qualities and being a full-blown narcissist. But they are out here, and it is real, and it's very dangerous. It's actually a mental disorder. And so we want to be aware of what it is, how it shows up, how it can affect you, how we can heal, and what the spiritual lessons are behind these type of relationships. Why did they appear in your life? What was it meant to teach you? Okay, so drop me a comment down below. I'd love to know your thoughts on this. Make sure you like this video if it helps you. Narcissistic relationships are not always romantic or partners, boyfriend, girlfriend, spouse. A lot of times they're members of your family, or they can be friends, people close to you. But what this type of relationship looks like is one person, the narcissist, is self-centered and lacking empathy. They're full on in their ego, and they are using the other person to give them energy or their sense of self. They're using manipulation tactics to control this other person. They're desperate for this other person's attention. So what they do is, and now you guys, I don't want you to be afraid. Like, the things I'm sharing with you, they're based in the ego. So as you're on an ascension journey, as you start to learn more, I'm making this video for awareness, for you to know what a narcissistic relationship looks like, but you don't have to be afraid of it. But you do want to be aware, and we'll talk about that. Narcissistic people are drawn towards empaths, people who are sensitive and in touch with their emotions. They love this because they are out of touch with their emotions. They're self-centered and they're just in their ego. And so they target empaths because they want to feed off of them energetically, and they get a high off of controlling them, manipulating them, and they want all of their attention. Attention for a narcissist is like a drug, and they need your attention, your love, your praise. They want you to adore them. And so it's crazy. There's a difference. Like, there's basic human needs. Like, you deserve to have attention and love and be cared for, absolutely. But when you're dealing with a narcissistic person, it's not genuine. A narcissistic person, when they're in their ego, before they have healed, or if they're lacking self-awareness, they are using another person to feed their ego. So they are pretending to love them, but it's not genuine. The only reason that they're doing this is to gain from the other person. They're using the other person. Because if they pretend to love them, then that person's going to show them love. But see, that person's being genuine, the other person's not. And it can just be turn into a crazy codependent mess. A narcissistic person is lacking empathy, so they have no remorse for their actions, or they might just not be self-aware, but they want to, the first sign of a narcissistic relationship is love bombing. Okay, so you guys, there's so many levels to this, like it could get so deep, but I'm going to tell you some of the basic traits. When this person first enters your life, they may love bomb you. That means shower you with compliments, tell you how amazing you are. They might befriend you. They might become your best friend so fast. Love bomb, right? But but there's manipulation behind it. It's not genuine. That's why I always emphasize on this channel, look at someone's intentions. Just because someone says the words, I love you, what is the intent behind it? Is it a pure intention? Are the intentions pure? Is it real love? Or are they saying it to get something from you? In a narcissistic relationship, a narcissist will do everything in their power to gain your trust so that they can control you. Okay, so remember, a narcissist needs your attention. And they get off on controlling you. So if they convince you that they're a sincere person, you might think they love you, whether it's a family member, a friend, or a romantic relationship. But in reality, they're playing mind games to gain your attention and love. So you guys, a real life story that's happened in my own, on my own path. This woman entered my life, right? I had no idea who she was, but she knew full and well who I was. And she deemed me as some kind of threat in her life. Okay, so she came in and pretended to be my friend. She was being a fake friend for a while. I found this out later on. But so here she comes and she's like, all the videos I'm posting, things like that, and she's leaving long comments, all 500 emojis after every single paragraph, praising me, showering me with love and attention, love bombing me. She's trying to gain my attention. Oh, I'm on your side. Oh, I'm your friend. And the crazy thing about love bombing is it seems so strange because it's out the blue. It's totally fine to compliment someone, give them love and affection, but I don't even know this person. They come on very strong, very aggressive. That's why it's like a love bomb. It's not a little bit of love. In a normal relationship, it takes time to build trust. It takes time to get to know somebody, and it's a mutual relationship, little by little, gradual, authentic. But it's a love bomb when out of nowhere, it just drops into your life like a bomb, and it's just overpowering you, okay, with compliments or whatever, but there's a negative motive behind it. She was doing it to gain my trust, to come into my inner circle, but it was a fake friend, just to watch me, just to try to gain access to me, come close to me, but it was based in deception. So her true motives were negative, I found out later, and she was definitely not a friend, but she was pretending to be. So, oh my gosh. It's such a negative thing to talk about, but I have to keep it real with y'all, and I will always keep it real with you guys on this channel because I'm here to speak up for truth and just shed a lot of light on things that need to be talked about. So a narcissistic people are extremely jealous because they crave attention. So if they feel like you have attention and they don't, if you're in the spotlight and they're not, if people are looking at you and not them, it's a huge problem. It's a blow to their ego, because narcissistic, this mental disorder is all about them not feeling worthy within. So they're getting their sense of worthiness from other people. That's why they love bomb. That's why they create such strong connections but they're doing it from a place of fear within. They want to eventually control that person so that that person thinks that they love them, and they're giving them all their energy, all their empathy, and they target empaths because empaths are in touch and in tune with their emotions. So when an empath is in love, they're actually in love, and now they're feeding a narcissist with genuine love, and the narcissist is getting a high from that. And without that love, without that attention, without that energy, because everything is energy, they feel depleted, they feel low. And that's where the mind games really get going, because somebody who's self-aware and has raised their, is somewhat conscious. We know that you're already whole and complete. Spirit is living through you. But somebody who's in their ego are not as spiritually aware. They think they have to manipulate other people to get their needs met. They're unaware that they can meet their own needs, that they're already whole and complete. So it's just about awareness. It's not about shame. It's not about any of that. It's just about learning about these things. Okay, so I've been a victim of narcissistic abuse, and it is abusive because of all the mind games they play. Remember, a narcissist is not being genuine when they say I love you. They're saying that to get what they need from you. And if they are not getting what they need from you, they will dispose of you. Okay, but they're control like maniacs. And so they get very jealous. If they think that you're starting to give your attention to someone else, they will go crazy, fits of rage, because they feel like they're depleted within. That's what a narcissist does. But what are some ways that you can spot a narcissist like that? Okay, well, one thing that they love to do, they're famous for doing, is belittling you, especially in public. Like, they get off on this. Remember, they need to feel superior to others. So they might embarrass you in public. They might call out some of your mistakes in public. They try to use humiliation as a tactic to put you down. They really target their victim as far as like with mind games. They want to pick at your self-esteem, and it can be subtle or it can be huge. They can do it in public or they can do it face to face in private. They want to wear you down because their goal is for you to become dependent on them. Like they need your energy. So they'll go to any length to get your energy. That's why it's abusive. So another famous thing that they'll do is they'll try to make you believe that you're not lovable. Like that who would want to be around you, that they're the only one that can deal with you. That is such an infamous thing that narcissists do. Okay, this is how I spot them quickly. Is like, because who talks to someone like that? But it's their ego. So they feel like they have to make you feel bad about yourself. So they'll put you down in public. They'll try to embarrass you, humiliate you. If you have some type of achievement, they will belittle it. They'll be like, oh, well, that's not a big deal. Like anyone could do that. Or if you told them about something, they might pretend they forgot. But they have to make themselves feel better, that they're better than you at all times. Like, so let's say you get a promotion at work and you're excited about it and you go out and celebrate. Okay, so 2 weeks later, you bring up the promotion, and then a narcissist would be like, what are you talking about? You got promoted at work? So they're playing a mind game. Like they were at the party with you celebrating your promotion, but 2 weeks later, they suddenly forgot about it. They didn't forget. They want to make you feel dumb. Okay, they want to make you feel like your promotion wasn't a big deal. Like, oh yeah, that little promotion. Oh yeah, I thought you were going to get that like a year ago. I guess it took you 2 years to get it. That's the type of comments that they say. And then when you take offense to that, they will turn around and gaslight you, which means like if you have a natural response to that, which is like offense because, oh, they're insulting you, a narcissist would be like, you're so sensitive. Really? I didn't mean it like that. You always take things the wrong way. So they've insulted you. but now they're saying it's your fault. That why are you so sensitive, that they didn't mean it that way, that wow, they can't even compliment you, like they'll gaslight you. And this is what gaslighting is. It's making you question your own sanity. They will turn it around on you, blame shift on you. And these are famous narcissistic qualities. And that's why it's on a spectrum. Like somebody who likes attention, someone who takes a lot of selfies, someone who's self-centered, or even controlling. Maybe there's a bit of narcissistic traits happening there that they should work on, but it's on a spectrum. A full-blown narcissist is doing this to the extreme constantly. They refuse to change. And let me just remind you guys that we cannot change anyone. Okay, so this is something that they have to heal within themselves. Your love cannot change them. You cannot change them. Only they can. A psychiatrist cannot change them. God could change them. They're learning within themselves when they choose to. So I'm sharing these things for you guys to be self-aware and to remove yourself from this situation. When you come across when you realize that any type of relationship in your life is narcissistic, it is not your job to try to fix it. It is your job to fix yourself and remove yourself, because that's where the spiritual lesson comes in. Narcissistic people are famous for invalidating your feelings and emotions. Okay, so they themselves have trouble being in tune with their real self. They are constantly gaslighting their self, themselves. Like they're not in touch with their own true feelings. And that's a very scary place to be, like for a narcissist, because they fear feeling inadequate, which is really the problem. They're feeling inadequate. That's why they're using manipulation tactics to begin with, because they think that they need other people to feed them with love instead of loving themselves, right? Okay. So how to recognize a narcissistic relationship. When you tell someone how you feel, and we're all spiritual beings, and so you can actually sense how someone is feeling. But if you express how you feel to someone and you're being sincere and they invalidate your emotions, they tell you that that's not how you feel, or that you should feel a different way, or that you don't know what you feel, this is a huge red flag, you guys. Like, you might be dealing with a narcissist, because you are allowed to feel however you feel. It's okay, it's safe to feel, and you don't need someone else's permission anyways. So if somebody is constantly telling you that how you feel doesn't matter, that how you feel is invalid, that you can't see the truth, only it's like they have the key to your truth, and like you don't have a say, they have a say in your life, because remember, they thrive in control. Like, they want to control you. They want you to become dependent on them. And it's abusive behavior. Okay, so it's not genuine love. They are not in touch with love for themselves. So if someone doesn't truly love themselves, then there's no way that they can love you. If someone can't go into the shadows of themselves and get in tune with their light and dark, if they can't be honest with themselves, then how can they be honest with you? How can they make space for your feelings when they haven't made space for their own? And when you start to recognize these things, you can have compassion for narcissists. Like, that's why I don't subscribe to those videos like where people are constantly talking about narcissistic abuse every single day. That is so detrimental to our mental health. There's no healing that way. There's no repair. There's nothing to, like, it's like beating your head against a brick wall. Once you become aware of what narcissism is, whether you have been doing this in your own life or if you've been a victim of it, then awareness is the first step. Now you can move into healing. But my problem with the internet is, like, people feel like they're stuck. Like, if you have someone constantly talking to you about this all the time, like, nothing is getting solved. Like, people, you don't want to feel like a victim your whole life. Okay, so in my own experience, someone very close to me, I realized I was in this type of dynamic because I'm a sensitive soul. I'm an empath. I didn't know what an empath was 5 years ago, okay, but I learned what it was. Like when I went on a spiritual journey within myself, when I got sober from the weed and became celibate, got closer to God, started to do inner work, shadow work, learn how to meditate, I came across all of these really ugly feelings that I was holding within. And when I got to the stem of it, I saw where it was coming from and where I heard those things from, why I had those beliefs about myself. Okay, so this is the spiritual lesson behind it. If you're an empath watching this video, instead of getting stuck in a loop of this abusive type of relationship, you learn to empower yourself when you break free. And you break free by realizing that, first of all, this other person is sick mentally, so you can have compassion, and that their desire is love, but they're not going about it in the right way. You can have compassion. But it's not your job to love them out of it. You can't. You'll be drained that way. If everything is energy and you're giving all your energy and they're just sucking, you're going to be empty. A healthy relationship is mutual love. They pour, you pour. They pour, you pour in a healthy way with pure intentions. Real love is selfless, okay? This is how you'll know it's real love in your life. This is how you'll know if it's real love in your life. If the person that you love, whether it's platonic or romantic, if the person you love leaves, do you still love them? Can you still love them? Or do you feel that you need them and that you'll hate them if they leave? Because if you feel that you'll hate them, then that's not real love. But it's real love when it's selfless. Okay, so a narcissistic relationship, there's no real love. They don't care about your happiness. They don't care if you're happy or not. They don't care about your emotions. They don't care how you really feel. They just lie, manipulate, gaslight, and try to control you, exert power over you, because it gives them a thrill that, oh, they get to manipulate this person like a puppet. It makes them go on a high because it's a mental disorder. If you're somebody who's a full grown adult and they cannot take accountability, like they cannot say, I was wrong, something is definitely off there, red flag, because a narcissistic person cannot take accountability. They have to blame shift. They have to make it your fault some way, somehow. They do something wrong, they'll play like they're clueless. They're so confused. What? Well, I didn't mean it that way. Well, you took it that way. Well, I didn't mean that. Well, it's not my fault you took it that way. Well, I didn't do anything wrong. Well, I just did that because, and here comes the excuses. Here comes this. But what never comes is accountability. So one way you can tell that a narcissistic person is starting to change is that they begin to self-reflect and take accountability. What does taking accountability do to the ego? Well, it's a huge blow to your ego because, wow, you were wrong. Because, wow, you made a mistake. But somebody who's very in their ego doesn't want to take any accountability for their mistakes. Okay, so a narcissistic person does not want to take accountability. And it's a sign, like if you're in any type of relationship, friendship, romantic, anything, family member, whomever it is, boss at work, there is a reason for everything. So spirit, the universe, the divine, everything has purpose. Don't think that there's any relationship in your life that doesn't have purpose to it. Nothing is meaningless. Everything has meaning. It's happening for a reason. So a lot of times these relationships for empaths, we're meant to learn. We're meant to become empowered through this type of journey. Abuse even has purpose, you guys. This is deep, okay? Why am I so passionate about empowering you guys? Like, why do I tell you in every video I'm sending you so much love, so much healing, so much power into your life? Because I had to find it within myself first. Don't live your life feeling like a victim. And it can be shocking to learn about, but healing is beautiful because when you get to uncover truths, even when they're ugly to look at, this is how you can begin to move into a healthier space and learn about your own self, how strong you are, and embody love, which is what we're here to do. On a soul level, you guys, we already agreed to certain lessons on earth. So it's all love, but we have to be honest. So honesty and authenticity is the key to healing, and it's the key to growth. and learning to find love in your heart, even when someone has done you wrong. How do you react, right? Like, that's what the masters have taught us. Jesus taught us that. Like, can you rise above it? Can you still practice love? Can you find it within you? And that's true strength. It's not weakness. Vulnerability is strength. Compassion is strength. Love is strength. Bitterness, resentment, jealousy, that's all petty. Anyone can do that. Anyone can carry hate, but can you practice love? And that's why talking about like narcissistic relationships all day long, like, what is that really doing? It's like tearing out a wound. It's like picking out a wound, making it bleed over and over and over. Once you know what it is, this is your chance to break free. So what can you do if you find yourself as a victim of such a situation like this? First, it's shocking. Then it's painful. And you might shed some tears. And then you can start healing, whether this means going to therapy, journaling, meditating, fasting, praying, working on yourself, your inner world to validate yourself. And this goes for everyone, both parties involved, because a narcissistic person needs to work on validating themselves so they stop trying to manipulate other people to get their needs met. It's their needs, so they need to work on that. And if you've been a victim of this type of abuse, you need to learn to validate yourself, because you gave your power away to the narcissist. Yes, they worked very hard to get it, to gain your trust, to love bomb you, to lie to you, to break you down, to manipulate you, to make you think that you need them in every way, shape, or form, to try to control you. Okay, once you realize that, then you take your power back by validating yourself and knowing that because narcissistic relationships leave people codependent like. And so take your power back, validate yourself, love yourself, know that even without this other person, okay, both people involved, without the other person, you are still good. You're still whole. You're still complete. When I say good, I don't mean virtuous. I mean like you're solid within. You just have to remember it. You have to tap back into that. God is in you. Okay? You're divine out here. You don't need someone else's BS, crap, their lies and deceit. Purity. Stand 10 toes down in your life. Like, God has your back. God is giving you life. And so you're strong, but you have to remember that. And you do not want, and like, it's your choice. It is your choice of how you're going to live your life. And don't let someone's lies deceive you. Let them learn the spiritual lesson that they need by breaking free, because that's how you truly show them love. They need to heal. And like, that's what happened in my own life. When I recognized this, like, I had to separate myself from this individual for a long time, several individuals. And, I can say in one case for sure, there was major healing and change that transpired. But it wouldn't have happened if I would have still been playing my role in that dynamic. Like, so what do? You call them out on their bullshit. Okay, because they'll be shocked. They're so used to having the reins and the control and the say in your life and over you. So how do you break free? Call them out on their lies. And this is how you're going to learn your spiritual lesson, because you have to step into your power. You've been giving your power away, and now it's time for you to take your power back. And it can feel intimidating because it's mental abuse, what they're doing, what they've been doing, and Lord knows for how long. I can think of so many examples right now, like, that I've seen out in the world. It's so sad, but it's serving a purpose. Okay, so how do you stand up to a narcissist? You call them out on their lies. You do not let them gaslight you. You stand 10 toes down in the truth. And when they try to conspire against you in some way, like, who cares? You can't be afraid of losing them out of your life. That's what I'm saying. Like, if you really love them, then you want them to heal without you. If you really love yourself, then you have to be there for you first and foremost, and practice true self-love, which is standing up for yourself. So call them out on their crap. Stop caring what they think about you. This might be the most important thing, because sometimes some people are crazy. Some people might get violent. I don't know. Everybody's at a different level of crazy. They haven't healed, okay? And remember, like a narcissist might lose it because they feel they're losing their power over you. So who knows how crazy they might get. So if you don't want to call them out on it, if you want to just separate, you have to work on your inner self and stop caring what they think, because that's how they've been controlling you. It's like you're caring what they think about you, but release, like, be like, who cares? If they like me, if they don't like me, who cares? If they approve of me, if they want to be around me, if they stop loving me, none of that has anything to do with you, because you love you, because you like you, because you care how you feel. They didn't care how you felt. They really didn't. Maybe they'll start to. Maybe they won't. Maybe they never will. But you have to. Okay? So that's why I talk about self-love. I talk about true healing in our inner self and being in our power. And little by little, as you start to do this, your mind will be renewed, your strength will be renewed, you'll feel empowered from the inside out, and you'll start nourishing yourself with love. You'll gain so much clarity, and the more you distance yourself from these manipulative people, the more you're going to see how bad it was and how much you were tolerating for the sake of love. But love also means honesty. So be honest with you, be honest with them, and don't wait around until they change, because that's not your responsibility. Everything is spiritual, so there's lessons to be learned on both ends. I hope this video helped you in some way. I'm sending you so much love and power and healing on your journey. Drop me any questions that you have. I'll be happy to answer them if I can. And you guys, I did read several books on these type of dynamics. I was really shocked when I learned about it, and it is painful to recognize, but it's definitely a key to healing. Take care of yourself, and I'll see you next time.